Hi, welcome to I've Had Worse, and today I'm trying Lidl's own Woodgate ciders versus Magners. I don't think it's a coincidence that these two look very similar. If we look at where the yellow is, we look at the white font, and we look at the red upper band. And this is something that budget supermarkets are doing a lot these days. They will market their own products that look very similar to a branded product. But do they taste the same? Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's open these up and get them into a glass. Now, the thing with ciders is that under UK law, they only have to contain 35% apple juice to call themselves a cider. And trying really hard not to spill that there. There we go. Okay. So another thing that even branded ciders are pretty bad at doing is telling you lots of information on the back of the bottle. Craft beers have been doing this now, but ciders I think are slow to the market really. Oh, look at that. Okay, so for Magners, for instance, this is a 4.5 cider. And it just says Magners Original Premium Irish Cider crafted from a finest blend of 17 apple varieties. So it already tells you it's a blended cider, so they've obviously got all the apple juices and they've made them for their signature recipe. But it doesn't tell you a great deal else. So it doesn't say this only contains apple juice. It doesn't say it's made from a single year's, there's a very, ain't a great deal of it. They could do better. So the Woodgate, all it said is cider made with sugars and sweeteners. So what's going on there? Doesn't tell you the percentage of cider. Doesn't tell you, why they've added the sugars and sweeteners. I suspect that a lot of ciders out there will add sugars and sweeteners, and that's to get their signature flavour. If you're into sort of your craft beer and your craft cider, you might say these aren't real ciders. And you might be right. But ciders that contain sugars and sweeteners, like a mass-produced ciders, contain a big share of the market. So they can't be all that bad. But do they stack up against branded one? Let's find out. Let's try the Woodgate first of all. Well, I can tell you for a start, they're really similar in colour. There's quite an appley smell off that one. Okay. I would say it's a semi-sweet cider. That's probably where the sugars come in. And it does say cold fermented using traditional methods for a smooth flavour. Okay, so not bad. And this is Magners, which is nothing on the nose actually. I'm not getting anything on the nose. And again, a semi-sweet cider, so they're not dry. They're really close. This is sweeter, and I'd say the sweetness lingers on the palate. And there isn't a great deal of depth when I'm comparing it to the Magners. If I was on its own, it might fare a bit better. So a slight appley flavour, slight. It's not smacking you in the mouth of apples. It's got a sweetness that sort of lingers on the palate and no real depth. Okay, let's go back in. Make a decision, David. If I had to choose, it's going to be the Magners. They're both sort of semi-sweet. This one is a little sweeter, and the sweetness tends to linger on the palate a little more than the Magners. So yeah, if I'm going to come down, get off the fence, it's going to be the Magners for me. This is a good second place. It's a good runner-up. It's not bad. Price-wise, I think this was about £2 and this was about £1.28. The prices may vary whether you're England and Wales, and I'm in Wales and we have a minimum pricing unit. So that's what I picked that one up for. So yeah, it's, you know, you pay your money, you cut your cloth accordingly. But for me, this time round, it's Magners. So, if you have enjoyed these, please hit the like and subscribe. As ever, be good to yourselves.